Hello guys, welcome to my channel, and today we are going to solve one of the lead code problem which is very famous in interviews. If you are new to my channel, please subscribe and share. Let's quickly jump to the description of the problem. Given an integer array nums and an integer k, return the k most frequent elements. You may return the answer in any order. So the description is very short and very clear. So let me quickly explain what is it is asking. So it is telling there are, uh, there is a given array and there are certain elements which are appearing multiple times. So we have to find all the frequent elements of a given length of k. So in this case, 1, 1, 1, 2, 2, and 3, right? This is the array which is given. So 1 is appearing 3 times, 2 is appearing 2 times, 3 is appearing 1 time, right? So you can see that the most frequent element is 1. So 1 is the answer, but we have to find total number of 2 length, right? So we'll include 2 also in our answer. So the approach is very simple. You count all the elements and then you sort it based on their frequency and then reverse it, right? You don't need to reverse this also simply because what happens is if the array is something is given like this, right? So your dictionary will be look like this, right? That 2 is appearing 2 times, 1 is appearing 3 times, and 3 is appearing 1 time, right? So you sort it based on this frequency. So this will become 1, and your 2 will become 2, right? And your 1 will become 3 because you sorted based on this frequency, right? And then you can simply, iterate from the last and you can add k number of elements, or you can reverse it so that this value will be look like this, right? 1 is appearing like 3 times, 1 is appearing like 3 times, 2 and 2 is appearing 2 times, and 3 is appearing 1 time. And then you from the start, get the k elements, which is 1 and 2, right? But in this case, what would be the time complexity? So time complexity could be n log n, n log n. Why n log n? Because what happens if every number, right, is unique? If that is the case, your dictionary will be look like 1, 2 is 1, 3 is 1, and then in worst case, you would be end up sorting all the elements which are present in the nums. That's why it's going to be n log n, right? Because you are sorting the complete array in a way. So can we do something better here? So we'll try to improve the time complexity, by not doing the sorting. Dictionary definitely we need to have, right? So the another approach that we are going to do is we'll create an extra array and which will be our frequency array, right? The array length I will explain. It should be of length of given nums plus 1. Why? Because what happens if every element is appearing is same, right? Just take this example. So 3, 3, 6, right? So let's say that 2 and 3 is not there. Only 1 is appearing. So this will be my array, right? This is nums. What is the count that it is appearing? 1 is appearing 6 times. So the maximum possible frequency of any integer is equal to the length of nums, right? This is what the frequency is possible for a given num. And so the new array that we are going to create, and this will be kind of my frequency array, right? Um, it should so the index should represent the frequency, because if this way I'm going to store the integers, then it will be already in the sorted order, right? Based on their frequency. So the maximum index which can represent my this array is 6, that is equal to the length of nums. Since array index start from 0, right, and to represent this 6 I have to 3 4 5 or 6, right? So this will be my array, and to represent the index 6, if you see, the length will become plus 1, right? So that's why I'm going to create a frequency array of length nums plus 1. Okay, I hope you have understood why we are creating this length nums plus 1 here, because the maximum frequency of a element is possible equal to the length of nums. And since length of nums is has to be represented as an index, we have to create, right, 1 plus 1 extra length of array so that this index can be here. Okay, so once we have created this array, how it will help us? So again, take this example like 1 1 1 and 2 2 2 3, right? So what we'll do, these indexes are representing the frequency, and in the array we are going to have a, initially we are going to have the empty as array. Why empty array? Because it will store one element or more than one element. The reason of creating the empty arrays here are, just think about this, like 1 is appearing thrice, right? So at the third index 1 will be there. If 2 is appearing twice, so at the second index 2 will be there. 3 is appearing once, right? So it will be 3 will be here. But what happens if something is also like 4 and 4? Then 4 is also coming twice, right? So 4 should be coming here, right? Isn't it? So there could be a possibility that there are different elements which are appearing as the same number of frequency, right? So if that is the case, they would be falling into the same bucket at the same index, and we have to store all those elements, right? Once this array is created, now we have to find the k elements, right? And the way we have to iterate is just start from the rightmost, because this is representing the most number of frequency, right? And that's what it is asked. So if there is any value present, just, you know, get those element into your answer and see if it is, if your k is satisfied, right? And that's what we are going to do. So in this case, let's say that one was appearing three times, right? So once will come, we found our k one element, which is 1, because that was the most of the time it was there. And then the next element would be 2, right? So we'll add into our answer and k will become 0, and we satisfied the k. This is the answer. So you can see that we are not doing any sorting, but in a way we are keeping track of the, the sorted, we, in a way we are keeping all the track of the frequency in the sorted order using this array. And this is what the trick is. And this will, avoid your, I mean, this will reduce your time complexity to on, because there is no sorting involved, right? So let's quickly, implement this problem. Let me remove it. And to implement this problem, definitely we have to have a dictionary. So I'm not going to use dictionary. In the Python, we have counter. So I'll just represent that as my dictionary, right? So this will be act as a dictionary for me. It will have all the integer, and it will also have the counts. I have to also create one frequency array that I talked about. So at every index we'll have an array to store all the unique integer based on their frequencies, right? And for that I have to, the length of this will be length of nums plus 1. Okay, this is my frequency array. Now to fill up this frequency, what I can do simply is just iterate over d dot items, right? So my value is representing the frequency of an integer, right? So in the frequency, what we decided is that index will represent the frequency. So that's why I'm adding, right, uh, value at an index, and the key is representing the integer. So I will add the key at that particular index. Once this frequency is got created, I have to also, create one answer variable, and I have to simply, just iterate over this frequency array from the last. So from the last I have to iterate. I will just do this, and I will check if my frequency, if my basically length of frequency is not equal to 0. Why I'm checking like this? Sorry, actually this should be this. So why I'm doing like this? Because at every index we are representing an array, right? So I have to check whether this array is empty or not. If this is not empty, it means there are some elements, right? And if there are some elements, what I can do is I can just, copy all those elements into my answer. Okay, frequency I. Once I copied it, what I will do is I will check if length of answer, right, is equal to k, then I have to simply return my answer. Then I have to simply return my answer, right? Or return the empty array. And that's all for this implementation. It should work now. Let me quickly submit it. Yeah. So let me know guys if you have any question or comments, right? Just do in the comment chat, and we'll see you in the next video. Thank you.